perfect 24 victories without a loss, 20 by knockout, and he has won 4 world titles. Ladies and gentlemen, California, presenting the undefeated WBC welterweight champion of the world, the Golden Boy, Oscar de la Hoya.
Come on, David. Let's go. Come here, Oscar. Let's go. Come on. I discussed the rules earlier tonight, what I expect out of both of you. I want you to protect yourselves and obey my commands at all times. Understood? Great. Let's touch them up and good luck. Good luck.
Quickly, George, let's talk about conditioning. A lot of people thought that De La Hoya might have been overtrained and left his best fight in the gym against Whitaker. Now here he is back in the ring 2 months later. What do you think?
Well, looked like he spent a lot of time lifting weights because this guy looked like some bodybuilder today. So you can see he hasn't done a whole lot of boxing training.
And I know that you don't like weightlifting for boxers.
He didn't need it. He had a lot of power. He's had a lot of power in his fist. He didn't have to go and pick up some power along the line. Bodybuilding in itself is a sport. And you've got to respect it because of the injuries that can happen, just like boxing.
Now watch out for the super active Kamau, who, as we told you, in his last couple of bouts averaged 111 punches per round. Nobody else in this weight class would throw as many punches consistently as David Kamau, the possible exception of, say, Vince Phillips.
And you can watch those guys from shoulder to shoulder. They are about 3 feet apart. And Kamau jab is touching Oscar de la Hoya.
Clean. Box.
Brand new experience for De La Hoya going into the ring against somebody with a longer reach, longer jab, the ability with a lot of activity to perhaps keep Oscar away.
But he's also active up top. He's moving his shoulder side to side, upper body movement.
Well, he maintained this energy level through about 7 rounds with Chavez, and then he tired in the later rounds. And obviously, one thing that De La Hoya and Stewart will be looking for here, if the bout goes some distance, is for Kamau to tire. But Kamau's trainer, Rudy Hernandez, said, I don't think it's going to go more than 3 rounds.
That's possible.
Crowd going berserk here, George. Good counter left hand inside by De La Hoya. But Kamau threw about 7 punches there to only 1 or 2 for Oscar.
The biggest mistake Kamau is making, he's coming forward. You don't want to do that to any puncher, especially Oscar de la Hoya. You want him to give it movement, but backwards.
I think he only knows one way to fight, George. He likes to come forward. And when he does, the one mistake he frequently makes is that he throws those shots wide and leaves openings up the middle. Oscar de la Hoya is murder on openings up the middle.
You want to, with Oscar de la Hoya, you want to come forward, but then move back from time to time. Don't allow him to zero in with that power.
One other knock on Kamau, besides the notion that he might tire from too much activity and that it's tactically wrong to come in on a puncher like De La Hoya, his critics say he keeps his feet too wide and therefore isn't mobile enough.
Oscar, again, is waiting for a knockout punch.
Yep, he's cautious again.
He's never had to concentrate on that. All he's had to do in the past, let those hands go. You don't need to worry about how much power you're going to get on it.
He has so much boxing skill and so much quickness, he can outbox anybody, it would seem, right?
Yeah, and he's waiting for power punches when everything he throws has power on it anyway. His powers never come from his shoulders, always come from his fist. Sometimes you get a lot of these trainers.
Well, we'll talk about that more in the next round, George. No interpretation necessary in these corners. They'll be speaking English to Kamau, and they'll be speaking English to De La Hoya. There's Hector Camacho at ringside, sitting with Bob Arum and Bob's lovely wife, Lovey. And Hector is here to sell tickets for the next De La Hoya engagement in September, if Oscar gets through this okay. And Bob's saying, yes, Hector, everyone's noticed that you're here, and I'm sure we're selling a lot of tickets right now.
But your jab now, start jabbing an aggressive jab. Okay? You got to pick it up there, but everyone put it one either way. But the jab, you got to start attacking him with the jab now. The jab is your key, but you got to start making him try to react to your action instead of you backing up so much now. Okay, and everything else will fall in place.
Stewart not terribly happy with what he saw in the first round, and you saw the activity disparity. Only 34 punches thrown by De La Hoya, 95 for Kamau.
De La Hoya has had the best left jab to come along, I guess, in the last 10 years. When he hits you with that thing, it hurts you all in the teeth.
And he just got Kamau with a couple of left hooks and a left uppercut inside, and a wobbled Kamau goes down. Oscar De La Hoya with dynamite power in the left hand, and that's the third time in his career that Kamau has been down.
Hey! Come on, one, two,
Tim Brooks and Julio Cesar Chavez scored knockdowns against Kamau, but that's the first time he's really been overpowered at close range by a puncher like De La Hoya.
De La Hoya's got power, and he doesn't even know about it.
De La Hoya looking for more chances to land the left hook. You heard Stewart say that if he threw the jab, everything would fall into place, and in this round, he made it work for him. Now Kamau gets in a counter right up and under.
If you look at the size of Oscar De La Hoya's left shoulder now, that's why you'll never see 5 good shots that he used to be able to land on the, catch you on the end of punches.
Here, you don't pull, all right?
That's too much muscle on that arm. You got to get away from the weightlifting. Only if you're injured, you go to the weight.
So as he adds weightlifting strength, you think he's sacrificing boxing strength?
Yeah, that's right, because of he needs quick punches right now. He's had power.
Kamau landed a right-hand lead across the top. He telegraphed the punch and landed it anyway. De La Hoya dropping the left hand there for a moment. Hard left hook lands for De La Hoya. David Kamau can now say, well, I've tasted his power.
Yeah, but Oscar should be reacting with 4 and 5 punches, not 1 and 2. That's what happens when you get this idea that you can punch hard with your shoulder.
Another hard left hook lands for De La Hoya, and a short right hand inside. And again, Kamau is wobbled, but he keeps throwing punches anyway. David Kamau does not know how to cover up.
That's the punching power and the accuracy.
4.
No 3 knockdown rule in effect, and you saw there Kamau's inability to cover up and clinch costs him dramatically as the referee stops the fight. Lawrence Cole gets to the end of the count against David Kamau. Oscar De La Hoya's power returns tonight. A look at the knockdown. This will be the first knockdown, which took place early in the round. 2 angles of the first knockdown, and I think this was a left hook that did the damage here. Saw the straight right hand there.
You see Kamau, even when he's hit, he comes right back to the action. You gotta know when to move away sometimes.
And that was the short left hook inside that put Kamau on the canvas there. Look at it from another angle. Still the first knockdown.
He gets knocked down. I mean, hit hard, he comes right back to the action. You can't do that with Oscar De La Hoya. You got to move away.
So that was a preview, as knockdown number 2 is more of the same.
Left
Again,
hook. He's shaking, but what does he do? He comes forward anyway. Even landing, he want to come forward.
It was a delayed fall after that solid left hook early in the exchange. There.
It was the left hook that did the damage. The right hand, and Oscar keeps throwing. That's the old Oscar I like.
Well, because punching power is